Hey guys, thanks for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. I know we were off last week, but our kids went to their junior and senior prom. I'll insert some photos. They look so beautiful and handsome as well. And then also my parents came to town and they were actually able to see our guest room makeover. So I want to show you guys their the clip of their reaction, and then we'll come back.
Oh my God, it is so beautiful. I love it. Wow. This is so nice. Oh my God. It is beautiful, Brittany. I love this up here. Oh, this is nice. I could really sleep here. I didn't even notice that when I came in. Wow. Look at the trim on this. Really nice. You love the Bible, Matthew.
All right guys, so I love my mom's reaction. I'm so glad that they're enjoying the space. Trust me, she's barely left that room. We've had to like kind of coast her out of it. So we've been doing some things and we've had a really relaxing time being off work and just relaxing with them. So I enjoy it. They'll be back next month because our daughter is graduating from high school. So she is going off into the world. So they'll be back enjoying that time with us then as well. But in this week's vlog, we are doing some spring cleaning. We desperately needed to clean the outside of our house because with having a white home, it shows a lot of dirt faster than homes that are, you know, with a darker siding or anything like that. And then also we're doing some spring planting as well, trying to get the backyard finished up. It's going to take some time. We decided to go ahead and clear out our slope. So we are slowly planting in the slope area and just giving that more privacy within our backyard space. I know that last year we kind of just did the backyard in terms of the fire pit and then really didn't come back to it because by the time we got finished with it, it was winter. So I really don't do anything in the garden during that time frame. The plants are kind of on their own, but everything has come back and looking so good. My knockout roses that you guys saw in a vlog on my channel, planted in this Georgia Clay, also showed in this vlog as well. They were just 1 gallon plants and they look so good. I do have something that is chewing on these leaves. I'm pretty sure I'll get something to treat them, but also just love letting the plants just have something to eat on. I mean, it's an ecosystem and it's part of nature. It is what it is. As long as they leave my blooms alone, I'm okay. They can definitely have the foliage. It's just something to look at, but here's right there. So let's go ahead and get into this week's vlog. So another passion of mine is gardening, and there's this little place called Scottsdale Farm in North Georgia, and I absolutely love that place. It's beautiful. It's on a lot of acreage. I think it's over like 20 acres. They have a petting zoo and they have just beautiful gardens filled with lots of different greenhouses and beautiful plants. These were just a little bit of a haul that I was able to get. My parents gifted me these beauties here and I absolutely love them. So we'll go ahead and get them checked out and get them home so we can plant them up. So a couple of weeks back, I paid someone to come out and cut down the debris here. I wanted to start to utilize the remaining portion of our property. However, this is not the full property line. It does go down 75 feet, but I just felt like it just was a waste of trying to fence in something that I wasn't going to use. So I had someone cut down that debris, and then Matt and I went back in and put some landscape fabric down just to make sure that the weeds would not come back, or just try to at least suppress some of the weeds. So once we put down the landscape fabric, it was time to go ahead and do some planting. So we got this plant from Home Depot. It is a Leland cypress. Costco actually was having some really good deals on Leland cypress. Like, I think there was one in a 15-gallon container that we wanted to buy, but then I thought about it, like the size of a hole that we'll have to dig to plant that. So it just wasn't something that we were willing to tackle. So we went ahead and planted this. Now the Leland cypress do grow about 3 to 5 feet per year. So before we know it, it'll be just right for a privacy fence there, or a privacy hedge. So we plan to get about 2 more, but they do get quite big. So if you don't have the property line to actually handle this beast, I would say not to get one. You can most definitely go with some type of emerald arborvitae or anything like that. We plan on getting some of those, but we really just like the form of a Leland cypress. So Matt thought that he can dig this hole with just using a shovel, but as you guys know, I absolutely love my power planter auger. It just makes the job so much easier. So we went ahead and quickly switched over to that. And if you guys are looking for a wonderful auger to use, I would highly recommend the power planter auger. It just goes through that clay, had no problems whatsoever. So here in Georgia, we have clay that we usually plant in, and it has lots and lots of rocks, but this auger has no problem going right through that, just like butter. Another specimen that I got was this is a blue cypress, and this is called a Fat Albert. Now this one only gets 15 by 15, so I figured in this area would be really pretty, especially as a backdrop to my snowball viburnum that's there that blooms in spring. And then this provides all your interest because it is an evergreen. I did want to plant this up just a little bit higher with root ball, so that way I don't have to worry about any type of rotting when it rains, any water puddling there, which it really doesn't. It normally drains out just fine, but I just wanted to make sure that he was just right. But I absolutely love it. My dad's over here helping me make sure that the tree was planted straight, and then I'm also just messing with the roots a little bit because it was quite root bound. So let's give it up for my mom. She was the one doing the footage here, y'all. So if it looks a little shaky or if she's just moving and recording random areas, that's the reason for it. But we tried to get my parents involved in this process, just again to spend some time with them and for them to really see our day-to-day with just Matt and I and doing our vlogging for This Georgia Clay. I also planted 2 of these white mothly grass. They do have a pink version as well. It blooms in spring, fall, and summer, and looks like I've already missed the spring bloom on it, but hopefully I'll be able to enjoy the summer blooms. It just reminds me of like a pampas grass, but a little bit not as heavy as pampas actually gets. It does get 3 to 4 feet tall and 2 to 3 feet wide, so it should fill in this area just fine. Another thing that I like about it as well is that it just gives some different texture with that foliage, so I'll be sure to be adding some more of these. I'll probably get some of the pink variation. And this beauty right here, I don't have any type of peach roses or blooms in my garden, but Matt really loved this one. It's by Proven Winners. It's a flavorette rose, so it's an edible rose. It's called Honey Apricot, and I absolutely love it. I think it's very beautiful. It's good in zones 4 through 8, but this one just looks so pretty. I can't wait for its new flush of blooms. This is how it's looking, so pretty with all of that color. I can't wait for things to bloom in, but we're still not done, so we'll work on that. Now let's go ahead and start with the house. As you guys can see, before we decided to go ahead and pressure wash it, it was looking quite dirty. I definitely wanted to make sure that we got it cleaned up, but Matt went ahead and removed some of our items here. Now behind that farmhouse sign, I used to have another sign there that I used command strips, and the command strips killed my paint, so I definitely don't recommend using that whatsoever. It just could have been like a cheaper paint that my builder used on the exterior of my home. Just kind of, I don't know exactly what happened there, but we'll fix it at some point. But we went ahead and moved everything out of the way just to get the house a nice rinse off. We decided to go ahead and rinse it all with water first, so we're using our new pressure washer here. It's a pressure washer that Matt purchased from Lowe's, and it is part of Greenworks, and it is electric. But it did such a good job, and Lanaya, our oldest one, I think usually she doesn't help out. As you guys see in a lot of the videos where we're outside, she's nowhere to be found, but I think this one, to her, it was fun. I don't know. So she actually decided to go ahead and do most of the pressure washing, but went ahead and took her up on her offer of helping us out. And since my dad's a little bit taller than her, he decided to go ahead and help her out as well. Like I said, when my parents were here visiting, they just really dug in and just helped us out with the house, and we just really relaxed. And it was just so nice to have my parents here helping us out and enjoying all the time, just family time together. And it was just those moments like that that I miss so much. So at first I was just gonna have her keep the cushions on and just rinse them off, but then I was like, let's stop being lazy. Let's do it the right way. So we removed all of the cushions off of the outdoor furniture, moved them out of the way, made sure that we rinsed off everything really good. And you'll see us go back and wash off all of the cushions and get everything nice and cleaned up. So once everything was wet, we went ahead and used this multi-purpose cleaner. It just provided some soap suds on the house and actually did a really good job cleaning it up. It does say that you need to spray it on the house and then allow it to sit for about 3 to 5 minutes, making sure that you don't allow for it to actually dry on the surface. And makes I don't know if it'll cause any issues with your home. I don't want to test that out whatsoever, but make sure that you read the directions. But it does say just allow 3 to 5 minutes, don't allow it to dry on the surface, and then go back and rinse with cold water. All right, guys, so thank you so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. I'm absolutely loving how the backyard is coming together. This is one of my newest plants that my parents got me. It is a Rise Up Lilac. It is a miniature climbing rose by Proven Winners. Proven Winners is actually their very first climbing rose. I absolutely love it. It has a perfume smell as well. Really, really fragrant, really pretty. So it gets about between 5 and 8 feet tall. So really nice, and I felt like we needed some more vertical interest here, especially with the brick or the stone on the back of our home rather than siding. It just needed something to break up all of that just jaggedness per se. But I can't wait. This is again a limelight here. It gets between 8 and 10 feet tall. So it definitely will add some more vertical interest as well once the blooms get off and going. They normally bloom in June and July. I usually have buds here like late May that I'll see some green buds forming. So I absolutely love it. And again, these are all different specimens of hydrangeas in here, mixed in with some drift roses and butterfly bushes too. Absolutely love it. I did put some Cosmo seeds here in the ground, so hopefully they'll come up. But I'm loving it. These are just quick thing when we first moved in, some plants that actually stayed. I didn't take out everything in the front of our home. I did repurpose it and put it in other places. And these are azaleas. These azaleas our builder put in the front of our house, and I never would have greenery on them. I never had them bloom. This is the first year that they bloomed in almost 3 years that we've been in our home come September, and I absolutely love it. I almost gave up on them, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna plant them in the back. They get more shade there. Let's see what they do, and I love it. It was worth the wait and time, the patience that it took, and they look absolutely gorgeous. And then these are my petunias here as well. I always do petunias in these containers. This year I decided to go with Snow White Drift, or Drift, what is it? Snow White Drift and Bubblegum is what I have in here. This one is, it is a Super Tunia Mini Vista White, or what these are, and these are the Bubblegum Super Vista. So they're pretty vigorous, both of them, and they seem to be holding on their own. They were just quart size containers. I had 2 of each color in each one, and they're absolutely doing amazing. I feed them Proven Winners water soluble fertilizer about, when I remember, so about 1 or 2 times a week. But other than that, they're doing really, really good out here. So hopefully by the end of the season they will trail off and cover up the whole planter. I think I have a green thumb after all. It's looking good. One other thing that I wanted to show you guys was my Cloud 10 rose. This was one that when I first planted it, it came out of the soil. It wasn't rooted all the way, and basically I just planted it as a bare root, and it is doing absolutely gorgeous. She's doing really good. I am going to get some type of obulus to put her on in addition to the pergola, which the whole idea is to allow her to keep growing up here and eventually climbing it. It gets about 10 feet tall, so it should be able to hit the top of the pergola just fine. So I absolutely love it. She's doing amazing. These flowers are just gorgeous, very prolific, and I love it. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. Next week we're going to be hitting into our foyer. We're going to do a foyer refresh. I partner with a company called Baron Design, so I have some faux beams that are going in there, absolutely beautiful, and some shiplap. So it's going to be a whole transformation, so I can't wait to share it with you guys. See you guys next week. Bye guys.